Do you have a plan? So by the end of the day here, by the end of our event today, remember Resolution Insurance is also there. The approach to insurance is to create simple quality from Resolution Insurance. So I'd like you to turn to your neighbor and give your neighbor a high five. Ask your neighbor, are you ready for the unveiling? Again, tafadhali. Ikiwa mwenzako akupatia high five, ujue mkono yake yuko kwenye nini? Mfuko yako. High five, mwambie Resolution Insurance. Resolution Insurance. Na ukiendelea muulize, do you have a plan? Now, we want to unveil. I want the DJ to give us some music. A round of applause for them, tafadhali.
The industry last year, I think, wrote 2.9 billion with a potential to do as high, if you believe the statistics, as high as 30 billion of insurance premium. So we do believe it's a game changer. We have been working on the technology side. The most important thing was to make sure that we have a portal, because everything has to be registered on a digital form, to make sure that the authorities, the maritime authority, can be able to track the cargo. Most importantly, KRA can be able to track the goods as they come in, and then you have to have the proof of insurance. So all portals are tied to one database that at any single time someone importing goods, you can be able to track from the time that the payment is made to the time the goods land and are cleared. The other most important part is to ensure that the claims can be tracked. As you can imagine, previously when marine insurance was being written on paper, it was very difficult for the authorities to be able to track goods coming in, customs tax to be collected, but all this now is digitized. In preparation to this, we had to ensure that we had to have capacity. So we went out and developed, negotiated with insurers to give us capacity. By the time we were getting our license in writing this particular product, the regulator has to ensure that we had the funding available and then talent. The whole of last year, we recruited talent, we trained them, make sure the technology is right, and then we started writing this business in January. Our take is, we believe the industry will write about 20 billion of marine cargo insurance, but if we follow what is being projected by the government through the Kenya Marine Authority, they're saying we could do as much as 30 billion as an industry. We are aiming at between 10 and 15% of that market in the beginning. So we have to make sure that we are a bit more aggressive in developing partnerships with shipping agencies, to make sure that we're in the face of the client. And then as we go on, we'll be known as an innovative brand, to ensure that we add value and we offer a better value proposition for the customers. The only way to do that, the edge has to be service. How quickly do you settle claims? What is the process of onboarding the client? Because when you're importing goods, the steps are many. We don't want insurance to be an impediment that, oh, I cannot get my goods inspected because the insurance company hasn't given me a certificate. And that's the reason why we've gone with an electronic portal that is very friendly. On our own underlying net, we have a 200 million capacity on one single claim. In addition, we have what are call lines in technical insurance languages, means we can write up to 20 billion of one single loss. Now, in addition to that, there's something called facultative reinsurance, which allows you to co-insure with other people. But we do believe that we have the capacity right now. We are not getting anybody who is doing one transaction of 20 billion. So we believe we have the right capacity. The shipper, the importer is the one who used to go to work with the insurance company either through a broker and buy an insurance product.
Sure.
So it just depends on where the broker or the agent takes them. But at this point, you're dealing with the entire supply chain. The shipping agent is involved, the shipper is involved, and what we try to do is reduce the process by doing it on an electronic portal. Now, let me talk about the industry challenge, not necessarily resolution. One of the major issues was there was no way the government could track customs, right? And it was possible for an importer to say that they have lost goods at sea, right? And for that, they could actually evade tax if it was possible. Now it's not possible because from the time the importer is making that particular decision that they're importing, it's already registered on the portal. KRA is aware. So all the stakeholders are together, and the regulator, the Kenya Maritime Authority, KRA, the shipping agent, the importer, the insurance company are working from the same database. So that can really help. So leakages are unlikely to happen.
As an underwriter, you'll only be happy when that particular ship comes back. And the international community have put those structures, IMO, to make sure that ships are able to reach where they are supposed to reach and carry the cargo safely without losing it. And that is a role that we do nationally. There are international obligations, but we fulfill them nationally. And all these are risks. So when we ventured into talking about risks and covers, it's not something we started yesterday. For your information, to put the story right, so that you know how did it happen to be that today we are talking about the marine cargo. We started the conversation way back in 1989. In 89, for those ones who are the logistics and those ones who do international trading, you know that when there was a lot of quarreling, the ICC came up and put up what we are now calling international commercial terms, Incoterms. Incoterms, you freely negotiate. If you're a buyer and a seller, you agree on how you're going to share your risks. And you carry those ones that you are able to manage as a buyer or a seller, and that's what you do. So when they were introduced in shipping and logistics, they lessened the quarrels that used to be there, so that I decide as a buyer what I'm going to carry. That is what we call the Incoterms. It gives you the option to choose. Now, if you choose to procure the insurance cover out there, you send your money, you lose it. Because with the time, what the sellers did were to take very third-rate kind of covers, which were not helping you. Even if you had a problem, they would not, you don't have a policy in the first place as a local buyer here. And then you lose it up in the process of looking for your claims. And that used to be a problem. To cut the story short, we traversed everywhere in the country talking with the importers and exporters to a point where they were asking that, are you sponsored by the insurance agencies, or what is it that you do in this business? But we noticed that every year, the kind of money that Peter has just mentioned, we are losing it out. We are losing it out not only in insurance, but also in the actual transportation of cargo. Actually, transportation of cargo, when we did the calculations last year, what you pay the shipping lines and the ships agents, when they bring your consignments, you put the containers and the conventional cargo and the liquid and the bulk, we calculated it was coming to over 400 billion Kenya shillings every single year. 400 billion Kenya shillings. So when you talk of 30 billion we are losing as a premium, this is just a small bit. So we needed to attack this by talking to the importers and exporters. So we are very delighted when, after persuading the government for so many years and putting papers and the cause, and actually there was a law that was allowing people to take the marine covers locally. So when it was put in, and last year a lot of forces coming in, it makes us very excited to see it working. So as a resolution, marine cargo resolution company dealing with insurance, let me excite you that where you have ventured into is an area where there is money. But this money comes from the service that you provide to importers and exporters. The tendency, when we had a situation to talk with the importers, during those times when we were just promoting the Incoterms, they were saying that the rates which they receive abroad is much better than what they were getting locally, and that's why they were sending their business. But little did they know that the only cover that seller abroad did was to kneel down and pray, God, let this ship arrive in Mombasa. And many a times God was very faithful, and the cargo was arriving. If something happened, then you have a lot of problems. And as a very important your industry is good. Many countries, the infrastructure development, they resist the temptation to borrow from donors and World Bank because they have developed the insurance and the pension funds, and these are very useful funds for infrastructure development and the growth of an economy. So I would urge you to look at this in the broad perspective of the role that promoting this service is going to do to the economy. And if you do it well, don't go for the greed, go for the need. Because the reason why I want to caution you to go for the need, unlike the accidents and the health and all these other covers that you provide, actually, shipping is very safe. Many a times, the claims that you are likely to encounter are to do with the breakages when it was being loaded or offloaded, or something happened somewhere within the port. But the actual movement from the port of loading to the port of discharge is normally well taken care of. Rarely do you encounter a ship breaking, because the international community, just like the air travels, they have put a lot of measures in which we are contributing to make sure that those carriers, the ships, are relatively very safe. Operate together now that it's a policy. If you go do the loan ranging as a company and you don't meet together as ACCI to see how you address the implementation, you'll be in problems. Because the tendency, once a policy is issued, the tendency is to just sit back, go for the beating one another in terms of rates, and you find that it's not realistic. Sooner or later, you lose interest and it goes. But if you come together and see now that it is a policy, what is the ACCI doing to wake up the agencies of the government, KRA, KMA, IRA, so that they move with the same passion that informed the changing of the policy, so that when it's a policy, it is implemented. We'll call you even to help us to address the issue of the freight. Now we are focusing on freight as well as the insurance, just to see that the freight, which is over 400 billion, is able to support this country. And that is how we are going to move forward. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Peters, come there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are ready. Before they start their meeting, Wapi makofi! Wapi makofi! Resolution Marine Insurance. Wapi makofi, wapi makofi! Now I'd like to invite Madam Alice Tafadhali, Alice Wine. Now they're shaking hands for the official unveiling. I'd like Alice to join them so that we can have a photo with them. So ladies and gentlemen, it's now official that Resolution Insurance Company right now does marine insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful thing that the company is doing. Mr. Nodi doesn't know how to stand because he's the tallest among the three. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wapi makofi tafadhali. Wapi makofi. Wapi makofi ya Resolution Insurance. Wapi makofi tena. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the total there is to be able to log it. Even if you have your phone, does not only cover issues on vehicles, any good that is marine insurance. It covers. So, also remember you can follow us on our social media platforms. And what would you like us to enjoy? We have this. Remember marine, remember Resolution Insurance gives you insurance industry. It was well known for medical, and it is still known. They've unveiled officially the resolution marine food. And enough drinks. Let us to enjoy your drinks as we continue the program. We have enough drinks. We have enough drinks. Enjoy. We have